Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to make crab and shrimp casserole. So everything you see on my counter is what we're going to use to make this, and it's one of those things where if you really like crab, you like shrimp, you'll probably really like this because it's basically crab, shrimp with some extra things added to it and some cheese, and it just has the best taste when you make it as a casserole. Now I am using imitation crab. You could use real crab if you wanted to. It's very expensive, so that's why I'm using the imitation, which these days is actually kind of expensive itself. So we're going to start out by thawing the shrimp that we have because mine are frozen. So I'm putting about 30 shrimp into a bowl of water, and I'm going to let it sit to the side for about like 15 to 20 minutes so they thaw out. Now, I didn't put hot water in here. I just put like regular room temperature water to thaw them, and they're going to sit to the side while we're working with the cheese. Now, for what you're going to need in this is, like, for the cheddar cheese, you need at least 4 ounces. For the mozzarella, you're going to need 8. So one of these blocks is 8 ounces. So basically, it's going to turn out to be 2 cups of mozzarella and 1 cup of cheddar. And I'm going to shred this myself because I don't tend to like what comes in the bags because they don't really melt well. So I always shred my own cheese, and that just works really well for me. So you can shred these on the same plate, just keep them separate because the cheddar cheese is going to go on top of the casserole. The mozzarella is going to go inside, so we don't really want to mix them up that much. We just want to go ahead, shred it up, get them completely shredded down to where they're manageable small pieces that can go into the casserole. We're not really looking for really huge chunks of cheddar or anything on top or huge chunks of mozzarella on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and just shred this up, and when we're done we're going to set it to the side till we're ready to use it. Now you want to preheat your oven for this to 350 degrees because this is going to be in there for about 38 minutes or so, maybe even 40, just to make sure that it cooks up really well. Mind you, when it comes out of the oven it'll be a little bit wet. When it sits and cools it will actually thicken up, so keep that in mind. So at this point our shrimp are ready. We're going to go ahead and take the tails off of it. You basically just pick them up and squeeze the tail. It'll come right off of there. And you know, you can buy them that don't have the tails on them. They cost more. So I just bought these as pre-cooked with tails on, and that way I'm removing the tails off of each of these. And like I said, there's about 30 of them, so you know, this is just what we're dealing with here. But this is going to go upside the fact that you're going to put like a pound worth of the crab into it. So we're going to, in a large bowl, add 1 whole stick of melted butter. And then after that, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Then to that, we're going to add 1/4 cup of sour cream. Now, as you get this into your bowl, you want to mix it up a little bit just to get these things incorporated a bit before we add anything else to it. So just take a spatula, stir it around a little bit, and just, you know, break up everything into the whole mix. So that way, as we add things, it's already pretty much mixed up. Now we're going to add some seasoning to this after we mix it up. We're using 1/2 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning and 1/2 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. And we're just going to sprinkle these in here, and then afterwards mix it up again so that way they all get incorporated as well. Then after this, you need 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is softened up to room temperature. So that's like 1/2 block. And once you get this in here, you're going to have to like take your spatula and kind of mush it down a little bit to where it works into the liquid you already have in here. And if it's room temperature, it'll work really well. You're just going to have to move it around a little bit. And as the fact that it's softened up, it's going to be easier to mix into your whole mix. So just go ahead and mix this through. And make sure there are no large hunks of that cream cheese left over in there. We just want everything in here to work its way together. And then after we finish mixing this up, we're going to need a tablespoon of minced garlic because we're going to bring this in for a little bit of flavor. Now mind you, if you wanted to in this mix before we make this, you could add a small chopped up onion into this because some people do that. I left it out because I have family members that don't really eat onion. But you could add it in at the same time you're adding in the minced garlic. So I have my tablespoon of minced garlic in there, and again I'm going to mix. Now if you add your onions to it, you can mix it right now into it and do this whole thing as one mix. And then once we get this completely mixed through, and it won't take long to do that, we're going to bring our shrimp in, put them into this bowl, and then get them really coated with this. So once you're ready, dump them in, Go ahead and mix it through, get the good coating on the outside of that, and then we're going to bring in our pound of crab meat, which we're going to cut it up a little smaller than what they actually have in their packaging. I just want to really cut it in half so that way it kind of distributes really evenly throughout the whole container we're cooking in. So just go ahead, cut it up. If you have not preheated your oven to 350 degrees, do it now. Like I said, this is going to take 38 minutes, maybe 40 to cook. Just make sure that you get that oven hot before this goes in there. So once we work our way through our pound of crab here, we're going to mix this up in here a little bit, and then we're going to bring back our cheese that we cut up earlier. It's shredded, and we're going to use it. So just work your way through. It takes a second to cut up all this crab, but it kind of works really well because that way everything in the casserole kind of works through the crab and the shrimp and everything that way. If you have really huge pieces of crab, it's just one of those things where, you know what, it works better to be smaller in this case, being that you're doing a casserole. And then once we're all done with this, we're going to have a baking dish. I used one that was 9.5 by 13.5. You can use whatever size you want to use on it. And you're going to need some nonstick cooking spray for this because we want to make sure that it really doesn't stick to the container we're cooking it in. So once this is all mixed up, once the crab is in there, we're going to add in all of the mozzarella, but not the cheddar, because we want to actually keep the cheddar for the top. And once that's in there, go ahead and mix it again, and it's going to be this really thick lump of stuff by the time you get done. And what we're going to do is take this, scoop it into our baking pan, and actually just spread it out to where it's really even, where it'll cook evenly. So at this point, we're ready for that baking dish. Go ahead, spray it with the nonstick cooking spray, make sure that it's ready for the oven, and then we're going to take this and pour all of this mix into it. And now, mind you, this is a really big bowl, so there's a lot of this. You know, don't be deceived by the fact you think that's a small bowl. It is not. And go ahead and just scoop this in however you want to do it, and just kind of spread it evenly, you know, side to side, back to front, to make sure this all goes in really well and that we don't have a ton of it at one end. Now, once we get this completely in here, we're going to actually bring back that cheddar and we're going to put it over top of everything that's in this baking dish. So as I said, you see, I have a very large baking dish and this is really filling up with it. So this is really good, and really a lot of it to eat on, because you can eat on this more than once. The good thing is you can reheat this. It's not really bad to reheat. Just, you know, refrigerate whatever you don't eat, bring it out the next day and heat it up. And it just works out really well that way, so you have more than one meal out of this if you need. So here's my pan. I'm going ahead and putting the cheddar over top. I'm not trying to put a lot in any one place. I'm just trying to evenly spread it across the top because there's only 4 ounces of it. And you don't need a lot of it to get the taste of the cheddar in this, and that's the best part about it. So once this thing is completely coated over the top, it is ready to go into the oven. I did not cover mine. I don't think it's really necessary to do that. Because your oven's really not that hot that it's going to make it do anything bad on top. I like the fact that when this bubbles up and cooks, it's kind of like when you're making mac and cheese and you get those spots on top of it that really cook really nicely. That's kind of what it works. And this is what it looked like when it came back from the oven. And this is just a really great thing to eat, and it's great if you were serving this at a party or a dinner or whatever. It's something really great, and I think you just might like it. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out the Southern Mountain Kitchen website, where you can get a free recipe, check out the cookbooks available from the Southern Mountain Kitchen, and if you'd like to, you could order a cookbook at a discounted price, cheaper than Amazon, with shipping that is also cheaper than Amazon. So if you get a chance, check it out, and I hope you have a great day.